Monica, how did you experience recording the most recent album? My understanding is that Jose he has very high expectations for all of his musicians, both with their on-stage performances and with what they do in the studio.
Yes, it was actually my first time recording violin, so it's a great experience for me. The last album, Viva las Mujeres, that one, I recorded only voice. So this was my first time recording violin. It was a great experience. He does have very high expectations, which is, it could be nerve-wracking. Definitely a great experience though. I love how particular he is with details. That makes the hugest differences, and I love that.
Was there a particular time in the studio where you learned something from Jose's direction as to what he expected from you on a certain recording?
Oh yeah, for sure. And also just recording with the violinists that I recorded with, they're just so talented, and I feel like that really it made a great impact on me.
And how much of that experience recording on the album are you able to take with you to the stage?
Definitely the confidence. I feel like going into the studio, you have to be very sure of yourself. And that's another thing that I can take on stage with me. It's great to be very confident and very sure of yourself.
And so, for example, when you were on the stage today, what's it like the few seconds before you start playing that first song?
Oh, I always get nervous. I always have a lot of adrenaline. No matter what, if I'm on stage, if I'm at a backyard gig, if I'm in a salon, no matter what, I always get nervous. But it's a good thing. I remember one time someone telling me that if you don't get nervous, that means that you don't care as much. So the fact that you get nervous is a good thing.
And so, do the nerves go away at any point during the performance, like as soon as you start, or are they always kind of there and you just sort of learn to live with it?
I feel like personally, the nerves are always there, but I've learned to work with it and control myself, where I feel like I've learned how to play with the nerves, even though it can be difficult, and it's always a different scenario, You're either on stage or you're in a backyard gig, and those nerves stay with me, but I've learned to play with those.
When you're on stage, how much attention do you pay to what the audience is giving you, like how they're responding?
Oh, you know what? The more that the audience interacts with us, when we see that our music is feeding off the people, I feel like that's always great, because it gives us life. I don't know how else to explain it. It gives us life. Like when we're playing a song for the audience and we see them like clapping or singing along, that's always such a great feeling. Like personally, I feel like it reminds me, like, okay, this is why I do what I do for the audience, because it's very important to always please the audience, and we want to give them a performance and make them feel satisfied and happy.
What do you enjoy more, Monica, playing the violin or singing?
Honestly, I love the violin. I love playing the violin. That's my comfort zone. Violin is where I feel safe. That's my safe environment. I mean, I love to sing, but if I were to choose, like, would you like to play this or would you like to sing it? I would choose to play it always. I love the violin. I love playing.
And then when you're on stage, are there ever adjustments made based on how the audience responds? So for example, if they are a bit more quiet, does the repertoire change? Does your interpretation change vocally or, through the violin?
Oh yeah, sometimes. I feel like our section leader, Julie, she's very good at feeding off the audience. So if we see that they're in more of like a hype mood or they're more up, we'll play like sones or more upbeat songs, polkas, things that'll continue the energy. But it always depends. I mean, everywhere is different, If we're at like a backyard gig and we're just the background music, then we'll just play, whatever. But if we see that they're like feeding off of us, and we'll adjust to the audience.
Is there a particular venue or performance that sticks in your mind of all the performances that you've had the privilege of being a part of with Reinas?
Oh yeah, I have so many, but Cerritos is one of my favorites. I remember the very first time I played that concert, I just had such a good time, and I remember actually not being so nervous. Like I always get nervous, but I remember feeling very just excited, and I was just really like happy to be there. That's always been one of my favorite concerts of the year. Like I always look forward to Cerritos, always.
What is it about that concert that makes it so special for you?
I think just Christmas time. I love Christmas time, the holidays. That's always like exciting for me. I don't know. I always think of my family because I'm not from California, I'm from Las Vegas. So I always just think about, okay, after this, like at the end of this month, I'm gonna go to Vegas and I'm gonna go see my family. And it's always something that I look forward to, being with my family for the holidays and just Christmas time in general. I feel like it's a happy holiday.
What do you make of the unique repertoire that you all play for the Christmas show?
Oh, I love it. I honestly, I love Christmas music too. So I always have a great time. Like, and we play the same repertoire with the guys every year. So it's familiar, but not so familiar because we don't play it year round.
Right.
It's great though. I love it. I love their repertoire, playing with the guys. It's always fun. It's always a good time.
Mm-hmm. And how much time does Reina dedicate in the lead up to that concert to just rehearsing those songs?
Months in advance. Like we were already rehearsing like October, so we prepare months in advance. That way, we could fix parts and anything that needs to be learned or we need to go over again, we have time. We can mentally prepare ourselves and musically and all of that.
Usually those shows are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Right? Do you think there's any one of those particular days that's the best, or are they all? How do you experience that?
Well, the past couple of years, I believe we've only had two. Well, as far as I've been in the group.
Oh.
I know in the past, they always had Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This year's special because they're doing the whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
I always love the Sunday concerts because I'm like, okay, I know what we're doing. We did this already last night, so it's like you're more prepared. You just feel like, okay, we did this already. It's gonna be good,
What do you want to leave the audiences with through those 3 Christmas Cerritos performances?
I want them to feel like I want to come back next year, or like I want them to see Reinas and, be impacted by our performance and, I want to see more of them, or when is their next concert, or, because it's great and it's a good feeling. You feel very satisfied and like, okay, I'm doing something right, it's good. They want to come back and see more, it's a good feeling.